What's up, guys? What's good? Good afternoon. How are we all doing? Hope we all good. So, it's New York session. Let's see what the day has got for us. So, excuse me. Starting off with the daily chart. So, the reason for opening the daily first is we want to see where our price is expanding to for the month. So, as you see, for this particular month, US30 has got no directional bias. This month price literally opened right here, and we created this low, we pushed up, we created this high. So we literally been trading within that range. So there's no directional bias here. And as you see now, we're currently trading below the 13, although we still haven't closed. But I believe price will potentially come towards the 13 EMA. So that gives me a bit of a bearish bias intraday. So if I jump to the H1, the only thing I'm looking for here is any confirmation for me to actually take a sell. So yesterday's low is a point of interest for me. This price can potentially come to this level 335. Okay. Where can price potentially retrace to? So you can see price from this break, we've been pushing down a retracement, a push down. What's the time now? It's almost 5 p.m. GMT plus 2. All right, let's see. We've got an imbalance here. So the main thing you want to look for is where is your price going to go? Where is price being delivered to? So if price is being delivered to the downside, you're looking for any points of interest to your left. So in this instance, this is the first point of interest where price can potentially get to. There is almost 100 points between current market price and where price can most likely get to, which means we can potentially get a setup. So whilst we here, I usually go to trading view, and on trading view, this was actually the loss from the morning, but we'll look into it a bit later. All right, so on trading view, it sort of helps me view my sessions and my session direction. So from the time New York session opened, you see that price has been creating lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower high into this OB. So I'm actually open to getting a potential sell trade right this very moment. So I'm just going to get my trading platform ready in case we execute a trade. Okay, we're going to execute on a different account. And that's Dow Jones. It's a pity I missed that drop on DAX, man. Oh, could have made some good money today. So, anyways, this is just an entry platform. So I use it for my entries. So just be ready here to sell. And I'm just going to just set up my parameters in the meantime. So when it's time to sell, I don't have many things to change. I'll just come like jump into my trade. So, okay, for now, trading platform is good. We come back to our chart. So what am I looking for here? I'm looking for any entry criteria. Isn't it crazy that I haven't even looked at other things? Excuse me, I haven't even looked at other assets, but I'm already seeing a setup on US30. So again, it all boils down to you have to know exactly what to look for when you open your charts. So for now, we have to stay below this particular order block here. We might get maybe a liquidity sweep back to that high. But if we only sweep it and come back below, then I'll definitely be looking forward for sales, just as I am now. So right now, if we get any of the famous four, so we've got a name for entry candlesticks. We call them the famous four. So if we get any of the famous four, like right here on the 13 EMA, I think I'll actually execute a trade with you guys in this session. Okay, for M5, you can already see that price created a high. So if we come below this level here, I'll consider sells. Okay, so I've got a bit of a narration. So the thing is, I have to narrate my story coming from the higher time frames. So at this point in time, M15 for now looks like we could sell without pushing back up. Why? Because we are already showing signs that we already respected or reacted on the 13. Yes, we might still come tap it, but there's also a probability that we can just push towards our target point. So our target point is yesterday's lows, and if we do break them, then we might look for a potential continuation, because if you notice, our main target is on the 50 EMA, which is lining up with this particular level here, which is on 110, 44, 110 points of interest. Okay, we come back to M15. So the higher time frames is just basically for us to know where our price is going. So if we happen to break yesterday's low, we might get a retest and a possible continuation to the downside. TDI, we had a squeeze on the top side, breakout on the bottom. We all know how to approach this particular setup. If you get a squeeze on the top and you get a breakout to the bottom side, confirmed by price, the next thing we are looking for is the famous, I'm just going to call it the famous four. We're looking for the famous four as price is retracing up back into the 13 EMA. So if we do come above, it shows that the trade is not ready. You wait for your close back below to actually consider an entry. So here I feel like we're good for a sell. And I'll just wait for an entry on the 3-minute. Maybe I'll just put an alert so that we can continue checking other things. So I'll put my alert here for a potential sell stop. Okay, that's it. So we're done with analyzing this for now. Price might come take out this liquidity. You might even come as high as here. That's still okay. Okay, there's a bit of some external sound from our side. I'm going to pause a bit. All right, I hope the sound is not affecting our sound here that much. But anyways, Nasdaq, you can see we've taken out this liquidity at the top with this daily candle from yesterday. I'm anticipating price to melt, coming back down towards the 13 EMA. So we are selling a retracement of the higher time frame for now. So if you come to H1, you see the entries already formed and happened here. So I would positively say the only thing I would love to see is price retesting the 13 EMA to give me an entry, or breaking out the slow to give me an entry. And my targets will be this gray line you see on the bottom, should be visible from H. So you can see we've got such a nice drop which can happen here. So we will just be on standby for a potential sell. And I think that's it for Nasdaq. If you can get a retracement and the famous four appearing on the 13 EMA, I think that will just be an icing on the cake. So again, let's just quickly jump to trading view. Let's see how Nasdaq is looking like. Okay, so on the 3 minute, again, you can see from the time New York session opened, we've been having lower lows, lower high, lower low, liquidity sweep. That liquidity sweep was right at 1630 stock market open. So can price come back up here? It might. I don't think so, though. You see this liquidity sweep here. I don't think this particular high will be taken out. What else do I have? I've got an imbalance right here, which has been tapped into. So I'm very open to seeing price stay below this particular zone and potentially break this level to confirm. I would love to actually sell NASDAQ. I'm just trying to put this line here. Okay, I would love to actually sell NASDAQ. Worst case scenario, not worst case really, because we're not yet in the trade, is price can still come back up right here. Then from there, price can then come back close below the 13 and continue on its downward way, with yesterday's high being our first TP. So again, if we break this level, I'm open to seeing a retest first before I consider an entry. So here I'm just focusing on how price wants to move. So we've got a potential trade on NASDAQ, a potential trade on US30. Okay, NASDAQ is actually breaking the level. US30 gave a nice famous full candle. All right, all right, all right, all right. I think I might actually execute on the other account as well. So this is perfect here. This is also perfect here. Okay, guys, I'm going to take a sell on US30 just now. Just waiting for this current candle to see how they want to expand price right now. Then we are in. At the same time, okay, here we've got a sell stop. We've got a nice candlestick rejection into this level. So everything for me here is lining up. Everything is lining up, definitely. Okay, NASDAQ has broken the level I want to see them break. I would love to see them interact with the 13 before I sell. So I think those will be my two setups for the day. I don't even want to look at other things at the moment. I'll be happy with taking a sell on US30, and I'll be happy with taking a sell on NASDAQ. From the past few weeks, I'll say for the whole of Feb, NASDAQ has been the better asset to trade. Cleaner price flows, nothing too hectic, as you have seen from the daily. US30 has been just sporadic, as you have also seen from the daily. So of the two, if you were to ask me which one is high probability, I'll definitely go with NASDAQ. But here I'm just open to seeing price expand down. So both of them actually can pay us. Both of them can pay us. Just checking my phone for which trade I'm gonna take. Okay, on M15 US30, I see them doing a bit of a deeper retracement up, so I just want to be careful with US30. Just want to be careful with it. I see them coming up into, I don't know, it sounds like I'm whispering. I see them coming up to, um, okay, this imbalance was already respected. They might still come back into it. They might still come back up to the New York highs. This is just like points of interest. Otherwise, I'll be happy with taking that sell. So here we've got an alert in case we need to jump in abruptly. We are ready for that. So Nasdaq, it seems like it's leaving us. Is it really leaving us? Let's see. All right. So Nasdaq, I would love to get a retracement into my point of interest. I have an imbalance right here. And yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. If we can get up here, I'll definitely be happy to sell Nasdaq. Definitely be happy to sell Nasdaq. Nasdaq will definitely push down. It's only a matter of entry, getting the correct entry on this particular asset. Okay, hit here, push back up, M30. Yeah, I've just pinpointed a point of interest. So bear in mind, we already have this imbalance respected right here. Break of structure, price retested. So this was a nice entry at the top there. Would have been a very, very clean entry. Right. At this point, I don't want to chase price. I want to see them retrace back up a bit. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, like I said, it's a pity we didn't enter it right on this first imbalance. I was actually not on the charts. I was busy with something else. Seems like we are getting a mini punishment for missing that trade. But yeah, like I said, I'd love them to retrace back up. Okay. So again, this is actually how I approach my charts, guys. If price is gone without me, still perfect. Because if a market is actually trending, it will give you multiple re-entry points. And again, you don't want to just jump in. Like here, if we had just jumped in, this trade would have taken us out right here. So we want to wait for that confirming candle that we're coming down. That's why we actually put an alert right there. So for now, it's a bit of a game of waiting. It's a game of waiting and until, okay, while we wait for Nasdaq, German 40, I would say this was my miss of the month. Miss of the month for now, basically, because I was looking at this initial continuation when we were above the 30. And this is where I was involved in the morning. But thing is, I hit by max drawdown for the morning because so I couldn't chase and get in on the other side. Potential re-entry would have been somewhere there. But again, you can see the momentum with which this price has got. There's no retracement whatsoever. It's a clean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of drop. Crazy. Okay. Gold. Right. Euro USD. EU had a nice sell based on the TDI being below the 50 static. You know what to do. If your TDI is below, pay attention to the 50 EMA. That's where you'll find your setup in here. Bitcoin took a nice sell on Bitcoin yesterday. I was in this trade, I think, from this confirmation on M15 all the way until here, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, today I don't have anything, though. I don't think I'm taking it based on the candles. You can see there's nothing, there's no directional bias, man. And we're still within this particular range. I've been talking about this range for quite some time. Oil, oil, oil. I think I should do a trade recap on oil. Guys, I shared this. Let me actually show this, guys. Um, okay, just a moment. Oil, oil. Yesterday, I shared something on oil with the community. Let's see, German 40. I have eyes on Nasdaq. Okay, yesterday I was like, US oil traders is a sell is cooking. All right. So initially, you see how I was using this fair value gap as my point of interest, and I realized price had taken out this high. So I had a valid liquidity sweep here. Price also came back below this order block. So I had a valid market structure shift here. Broke a structure here. So that market structure shift was valid, and I had an imbalance here. But what I said was, sell is cooking. And I even asked, yes, what's your point of interest if you have the same view? Then those with the buy view, please share your ideas. Unfortunately, nobody responded here. I was like, okay, it's all good. It's all good. Seems like we don't have any oil traders in the building. Then I proceeded to say H4 and H1 are showing a liquidity sweep, like I said, which was this one. We have a market structure shift in an FVG. So it was this and this. If price respects that FVG with a clean retest, for me, that's a sell which is active. So when we got into the FVG, we got this candle. But if you notice, I'm still above the 13 EMA. So wait for it. Then I was like, if price respects that FVG with a clean retest, for me, that's a sell active. The same FVG is a point of interest for an inverted entry if price decides to be bullish, guys. So price decided to be bullish, and this same FVG became inverted with a nice bullish engulfing here. So if you had not caught this setup here, just wait for the next time your price interacts with your 13 EMA. Look for an entry. This was outside our trading time. Another entry here. Continuation right here in this area with a break of the 800. So isn't it crazy, guys? It's so crazy, man. This is crazy. So let me ask these guys. Let me share. Crazy, man. But again, this just, you know what? Trading is just fascinating. It just shows me who's serious with this trading thing and who is not. Literally, 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 literally. But anyways, sometimes, they say you can take a donkey to the river or a horse. Let me use a horse example. You can take a horse to the river to drink water, but you can never force a horse to drink that water. It's crazy, I wanted to take a screenshot here, but if I'm sharing, I won't. So guys, please bear with me. I just want to take a screenshot, so I'm going to stop sharing for a bit. Then what I'm going to do is, you cannot minimize. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to send what I was reading to you just now, because others think that we just like formulating these things out of thin air, and it's just like guesswork and stuff. No, guys, it's not like that. So I'm just going to take a screenshot of where I explain so that I can show these guys what they missed up on. Okay, I'm looking for a folder to save this stuff on. Uh, okay, I'm just going to save it on. Okay, US oil, save. Okay, that's done. Then we are going to go to WhatsApp. Yeah, I've stopped sharing my screen because there's some things which you guys must not see here. Protecting a little bit of privacy, but I'll share back just now. I just want to. Okay, so this got here, then we're going to save it as 3, save. Then at the same time, I'm going to share. mm, Desktop, advanced results, Feb 19th. I cannot find what I just saved. You guys, I cannot find what I just saved. Okay, plan B. Okay, I think I got it. Oh my God, where did I save that thing? I think I saved it in the wrong folder. Okay, no worries. Let's save it again. Daily trading results. Oh, there it is. Close this. This US oil. Send this to the phone. Come here, close this, click send. All right, I think I'm done, guys. Tick, share, share. All right, we're back. We're back like we never left. All right, so basically, this is what I was doing. I was saving this oil chart so that I can show the guys in the WhatsApp community, number one. Then number two, for the non-believers. I know we always have non-believers. I wanted to show you what I was reading from so that you guys can see. Okay, you see, this was yesterday, guys. 15:59 yesterday. I was asking US oil traders, sell cooking. Yes. What's your point of interest if we have the same view? Those with a buy view, please share your ideas. Let's see. Then H1, H4, just like I explained just now. Then this was the main thing. If price respects with a clean retest, for me, that's a sell active. But the same fair value gap is a point of interest for an inverted entry if price decides to be bullish. Just trying to keep it simple. One point of interest, one short, one kill. Okay, sorry, wrong chart, wrong chart. One short, one kill. And this is exactly what happened. This was the point of interest. We're anticipating a respect of this area for a drop or price to come back up and still respect the same area as an inverted or inversion FVG for a buy, which is actually what happened. 1, 2, possibly 3 or 4 points for an entry. I know I've got an oil trader in the community. I wonder if they actually caught the setup. Uh, Guys, trading is just fascinating, man. It's interesting to understand. If you've got like points of interest, you only have one job to do. One job. If you're using indicators like myself, like your moving averages, We all know that with my trading system, my sells have to be confirmed if my price comes and closes back below. So that confirmation with a point of interest just gives you a high probability setup. If price comes the other way, off your point of interest comes the other side, same thing. Okay, we've got the 13 EMA, we've got a nice rejection here. That's an entry, guys. If you come to M15, I'm telling you right here, there's your stop hunt right here. Prices from this low, we're starting to create higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows until the close of the day. Of course, I hate holding into the next day because I don't like paying swap. But if you were coming to the charts today, 13 EMA retest, 13 EMA retest, 13 EMA retest, 13 EMA, 13 EMA with the famous 4 candlestick. Maybe I should actually do a video. Let me show you guys what I'm referring to when I'm saying the famous 4 candles. But yeah, that was the setup on oil, and I just hope one of these guys caught it. But anyways, like I said, you can take the horse to the water, but you can never make the horse drink the water. Anyways, our entry is getting ready. We're actually getting ready to make some money um, on US30. So getting ready here. My stop loss should be above these highs. Let me just confirm if 3 minute gives me what I want to see right now in M. I don't think price will come up. Do you guys think price will come up? I don't think so. I honestly don't think so, but I guess we have to find out. So I'm going to show you the setup on TradingView. It's now active. I got my close below the 13 with a bearish engulfing. That's the entry trigger I want. So stop loss just above these highs. I actually put it up here. So if you notice on my prop account, I usually go in with a 1:2 because it has got a 2% maximum daily profit cap. Once even if you've got a 1:10, once your trade reaches 2% profits, the platform automatically closes the trade. It's the particular account I chose. That's why you saw I just put a 2%. But however, our trade setups are usually like this: 1:3 risk to reward ratio. So let's see if it's going to play out. Yeah, I'm just sharing this setup with these guys. Okay, seems like US30 wants to disappoint me same time. Okay, if you cut this trade out. When it does that, I'm even wondering if they even deserve me to be sharing my charts like this. So, right, so we do have a plan, we do have a setup, we do have an entry. But the way it's moving now, it looks like it wants to disappoint me, but I won't be disappointed until my stop loss has been hit. Right. I'll actually scale in. I'll actually scale in if we break. Remember, we set this alert here. This alert here. I won't scale in per se, but I'll actually open another entry on another setup. right on this low here. You see this sell stop. Once we break this level, I'll definitely jump in again. Okay, I'm going to share my current view and setup on US30 based on D1 price action. For Feb, we have less volume and no directional bias. So this trade is a low probability. This is a low probability, guys. This is not an A plus setup. The current trade we own is low probability. So as I analyze my charts like this, I simply share with the community. It's up to whoever is trading. If they're seeing the same view as me, they can take the trade. So let me just okay, I actually shared it to the wrong community here. Where's my announcements? Okay, done. So we'll get an alert here when whatever happens, happens. So let's come back to NASDAQ. NASDAQ, I'm not happy because we missed the perfect entry here, which was an M15 FVG, gave a market structure shift after a liquidity sweep, came back into another FVG. We got the famous four. We got the famous four. So if you were looking to trade here, a better setup or entry would have been right here, right? And your TP, I usually go for 1:3. So this trade would have been complete long time ago, guys. Long time ago. This is the things I try to catch or look for when I come to my charts. But you notice I literally came to the charts and our price was trading somewhere in here. And I marked this level and I was waiting for price to sort of come back up a bit to give me another famous four candle so that I could go in, but they simply came below the zone and pushed to the particular TP we had for that entry. So are we going to get another entry though? Because I know we are definitely still bearish. That's one thing for sure. Definitely still bearish. The only thing I'm not happy with right now is this setup. It's low probability because of the daily time frame. Anyways, let's see what news we got going on here. Is early as Trump plans more tariffs. Um, latest tariff threats. Okay, I guess it's Trump. Trump be doing Trump things. Okay, I think I'll just hold this setup, guys. This might be my only trade for today, but if Nasdaq gives me a high probability entry again, I'll take the trade. So this would have been a perfect setup. As you can see, 1:3, but we missed it, right? So to see if we can get another entry, I'll simply come back to the M15. Okay, US30 must push to OTP. I'll simply come back to my M15 on Nasdaq, because remember your setup is to originate from a higher time frame. So from M15, I cannot sell until price retraces into my 13 and gives me the famous four. The famous four, right? That's what I want to see. If I can get that, then I might consider a sell. But in the meantime, let's just, because also on Nasdaq, if you notice on US30, sorry, we got the famous four right here. The only thing is, are they going to expand to our take profit, or are they going to take us out? So I would love to just continue this session until we discover whether we are being taken out or not. And this is the running trade, as you can see, currently on -50. What I'm going to do is I'm going to Because I know, okay, I think it just took me out. I was about to say I'm gonna move my stop loss to halfway, but anyways, price just took me out. So it's still fine, still fine. I wonder what gave price that stage. So there's no reason for me to explain. So we got a negative 1% there on that particular setup, which is still okay. Let's minimize this, come back to our chart. You can see the setup here. It also hits our stop loss. I was about to actually move my stop loss to halfway because I know this is a low probability trade. But anyways, since this is done, let's wait on the sidelines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to MT5 because on MT5 I can split my charts into two. Okay, let's see gold. I can split my charts into two. Gold looks like it could be bullish. If we come back above 29.40, we could get a buy. I might come back to it later. Okay, this is why I love MT5. So now I can wait right here and see what they want to do. And at the same time, I'll be looking at NASDAQ as well. So yeah, I think that's it. That's it. The only thing I can do is wait. Both intraday biases for these two indices are sells for now. So if price gives me the famous 4, the 13 EMA, I actually want to execute a sell. So let's see what happens. And I think I might take the sell on the same account. And yeah, I think, yeah, I'll take the sell on the same account. So for now, it's patience, patience, patience. Isn't it crazy? These guys look like they want to drop now after taking us out. Okay, M15 closes in about 17:33 now, in about 12 to 13 minutes. Okay, just checking M5. All right. All we can do really now is to wait. What we can do is wait. So usually I wait for my confirmations on MT5. When I go to TradingView, I'm going there just to map out my risk to reward and check M3 for my entry, risk to reward, and execution. That's also MT5. For now, we're still waiting stock on price. So I don't know, guys. If you guys don't mind watching long videos, I don't mind streaming my whole trading session. Literally, I do not mind at all. But the thing is, I know most people have got what do you call it? There's a phrase for it. Most people don't like to watch long videos. So it kind of gets pointless to stream a whole trading session and just talking because in between I'll just be quiet and there won't be anything to explain. So on the H1, I'm also open maybe to see price show me a stop unvisible on H1, that being a week. Once I start to see a week being created, it kind of brings me to attention and I start looking for reasons to actually go and execute. So let's see if we get a close here below the 13. Remember, I've got this imbalance right here. This is NASDAQ. If we come back below here, I think I'll be interested to now jump in on a sell, just like we planned. So remember, we're planning the trade and trading the plan. It's only this asset here called US30, which has been just see this side we move here. If an asset is not expanding, Like you see the way they were doing in January. Nice expansions, clean stop patterns, even on the daily, nice expansions. Usually, if you catch a setup, the probability of that setup playing out becomes way, way much higher because your price will be flowing, unlike getting into a market whereby the price is not flowing, you sort of be caught up. So Nasdaq for me is good. You can see we had this flow from the beginning of the month. Nice stop hunts here, even on the daily liquidity sweep. Looks like a swing sell pattern forming here. So even tomorrow, I think we might be looking for sells on Nasdaq. It all depends with whether they get here today or what happens. But I would say in terms of intraday reversal, most likely we could get it. So, but again, I'm also open to continuing with my buys. If my price comes back and closes above this level here, I'm looking for a continuation of that bullish move, which has been happening since the beginning of the month. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is just how I analyze my charts. I try to keep it simple where I can. If I see something familiar, there's only one thing I can do: calculate my risk and execute. One or two outcomes will happen, either a loss or a win. The loss has to be calculated, though. The loss has to be calculated. So for now, I think we're just waiting. So you can see Nasdaq on M15 has tapped into the 13. So what am I waiting for now? For me to be able to go to the M5, M3 to look for an entry, I need the famous 4 here. Otherwise, price might still continue, maybe react here. So until I get the famous 4 here, I cannot sell. I need to try and exercise extreme, extreme patience. I'm only frustrated by this thing called US30 because just fucking took us out. Excuse my language. But anyways, that's again part of trading. That's part of trading, and there's nothing you can do about it. This is the cost of running your trading business, the losses which happen. Shout out to Kimel FX. I'm just looking at his video here. I think what I'm talking about is just he's just posted a video here. I'm not sure if I can play it, but he's talking about someone who just got a payout in there in a 3% drawdown. And the moral of the story basically is losses happen, guys. Losses will happen. Okay, I've got a nice candlestick close here on US30 on the M5. Let's just see how it's looking on the 3 minute. So you can see how price just took us out. So I think I'll attempt another sell immediately as soon as the current M3 closes. So I'm going to have my stop loss outside that high which took me out. If you see them come outside this high, then I'm definitely wrong for the day. I'll definitely be wrong for the day. The only thing I don't like is the daily because we don't have that price expansion. So let's see. I also love to see them break this price line here for me to sell. But right now I'm just getting ready. I always like to get my setup ready. Stop loss TP. So my TP now is not going to be 1:2. It's going to be slightly higher so that we can also recover that loss earlier if this price decides to go our way. So we're just getting ready for a sell. We come back to trading view. This is a trigger candle. This is an order block. So here, like I say, my entry trigger is there. Here, I need a break of this and a close below. I try to keep it as simple as possible. Liquidity sweep, yes. Order block, yes. So if I get a close below my order block, I'm in this trade. Right, let's check what's happening with NAS. NAS slightly pushing up. Okay, that's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. Nice close there. Okay, guys, I'm going to execute right here in anticipation of this price continuing its push down. Sell. I'm going to adjust my TP to, okay, I might close this trade at 2%, but for now, I'm going to cater for the loss I took. So it's a 1:3 risk to reward ratio. As you can see here, I've got my risk, I've got my reward. So makes it a little bit easier here. So once I'm done with that, here I'll just show you this, because some people will be like, hey, show us this thing here. We want to see you trade. All right, so my first, so if we get to yesterday's low, my trade will be on 2%, right? Which is a 1:2 risk to reward ratio, which is perfect for me because I would have recovered my loss, my 1% loss, and I'll close the day still with a 1% profit. But I'm open to seeing them break. I don't think, okay, we'll see. Let's see when the price gets there. Let's see when the price gets there, if it gets there for that meta, because you know US30 has just been playing around and doing crazy stuff. So we're going to set an alert on both sides of the trade, because sometimes if price goes sideways, I usually just set my parameters like this. So this will be TP hit 2%. I love to set my parameters like this. Then on the top side, I'll also highlight my stop loss so that I don't have to sit on the charts for the whole day. If I set my parameters, a notification will just come to my phone telling me whether my trade is hit. Stop loss 1%. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, that's it, guys. So this is my trade now. So it's a re-entry. I have the same directional bias as my initial entry. The only thing is my initial entry took me out here, which can be boring at times, but that also happens. So we're on the second attempt for that sell. Let's see what US30 does. Okay, so where I'm at is currently raining. Somewhere in the wilderness, it's currently raining, and I hope the sound of rain. Okay, you see that sell stop which we had marked, it just triggered. So that's what alerts do basically, for those who don't know about alerts. And I get the same alert on my phone, meaning if I had taken that loss and gone away from my PC, I would simply have received this alert telling me that price is still hit my point of interest where I want to sell from, so I can still enter even when I'm on my phone. I already know what I would have planned for the trade, which makes it a little bit easier. So, okay, I'm going to sit with you guys, but like I said, I'm not sure if this rain is going to affect the sound. But again, I would love to sit until we get either a stop loss or a take profit. When our trade moves halfway towards our target, we're going to move our stop loss to break even. Those are just part of the rules. I might consider scaling out half of the trade as well, or not, but I'll just show you how I do it if price gets there. So just to check our running trade, there it is. So that's our current running trade right there. Let's see. Okay, so if I want to modify, you see this platform, it says close position or partial close. So once I get to halfway, I can click partial close. My total lot size running is 0.48. So if I'm closing half the trade, I'm going to partially close 0.24. Then I'm going to close the partial running trade. That's how it's done. But at this point, I'm not closing anything, so I'm not going to click close, but I'll just leave it here just in case we need to do it. So yeah, this is the running trade. Let's see how it goes. I just hope the rain, guys, won't affect our sound that much, because it will be hella boring. Nasdaq literally sort of reversed. It's still pushing up towards the 50 EMA on M15. So I won't talk much about it for now. Just stick to this particular asset of ours. I think at this point, I'll actually move my risk to half what I was risking, because I do not want to end with a full um what you call it, a full loss. So here my risk was 150. I'm going to put it on 75. You can see it right here. It's now on 75. Then I'm going to confirm. So my stop loss, my risk is now half what I was initially risking. So the way I move my risk around, it all differs from setup to setup. And it will be wrong for me to say you should do a certain fixed thing, but the main fixed thing which we do when we trade is the halfway mark is a must. If your price reaches a halfway, make sure your stop loss is at break even. A trade which goes halfway to your target must never close being a loss. Never, ever must it close being a loss. So our stop loss is halfway, like I said, which is now here. It must never, ever close being a loss. If your price moves to halfway, your target, the least you can do is at least move your stop loss to your entry or slightly below if you're selling like this, so that if price decides to just, let's say, take out liquidity here and do a quick 360 and just starts going the other way, you do not lose anything. You get it? And sometimes also, depending with the setup, you hear me say when we get halfway, yes, we are moving stop loss to break even, but we are also taking out 50% of the trade off. Like I said, we're closing half of the trade there and then, same time, half of the trade has to be closed. Then we leave that other 50% to see if it's going to push towards our TP. So these are just the general rules which I use based on the way I trade, my trading style, my trading system, and strategy. And it works for me. So if you feel like it can work for you also, you can just use the same rules, or you can formulate your own rules based on your own trading strategy and how you trade. Because the main thing is to protect capital. Number one, your capital has to be protected. And the second thing is to make money, right? So by making money, it doesn't mean you need to be making big wins. Is these small wins, small losses in there, small losses. Once in a while, if you've been trading for a while, you will know that yes, you're going to have small wins, small wins, small wins. At some point, you're going to get a big win, right? Then again, you might have a small loss, so a small win, um, small loss, small loss. So out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's say this is 10 trades we've taken. Out of 10, these 10 trades, there's 5 losses, right? The red squares. We've got 5 L's. So if these losses are kept at 1%, it means we have a total of 5% in losses, right? And if the wins are kept, let's just say 2%, nothing too drastic. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 losses, 5 wins, and our wins are kept at 2%. It means here we got 2, 4, 6, 8% on the normal wins. And at some point, let's say maybe we took a 3% win on this bigger trade. So plus 3. This actually shows that your trading system is profitable. You've got a 50% win rate, but at the end of the month, you're closing off with 11% of wins, 5% of losses. So you are positive 6%. That right there shows that you've got a positive trading system. And that's how it's supposed to be. Those small wins, they compound. The small wins, they compound. It's once in a while you get a big win. The losses have to be kept small and they have to be kept the same. If you can do that, I feel like your trading can drastically improve. Because what happens is most of us are looking for big wins on that same day. You want the big win on that same day. If you get a loss, you want to trade again, looking for that big win. You get another loss, you want to trade again, looking for that big win. And again, looking for the big win, your risk becomes higher. You end up blowing your account, or your losses become a little bit higher. The losses are not the same variable. So you're risking 1%, you're getting a loss. You decide to risk 2%, you get another bigger loss. You decide to risk 3%, you get an even bigger loss. Because remember, there's no guarantee that your next trade is going to be a win. The thing you're trading is a system. You're trading something which you're familiar with. So if you see something familiar like this, you execute. That's the only thing you can do. You see something familiar like this, you execute. The outcome will only show itself after time. So time is what we have to wait for to show us whether our trade is a win or a loss. So like now we're still sitting, we're waiting to see whether this trade is going to come take us out again, of which if it does, we already lost 1% on this trade. And we came in with the same risk variable of 1%, of which we already made it half. So if we lose this again, that will mean we are closing the day with a 1.5% loss for the day, right? So it's all about trying to I don't know if this is a word. Let me Google it before I say it. I wanted to say systemize. I think it's a word. It's all about being systematic. Yeah, systemize, another term for, yeah, systemize, it is a word. It's all about systemizing your trading. When we say trading system, it's basically the rules we are talking about. We're saying one of the rules is have the same risk always. If your risk for the day is 2% per trade or 1%, whatever amount, or if it's an amount figure, keep it the same. That's part of systemizing your trading. So a risk variable has to be the same. Number two, if your trade moves halfway to your target, always put your stop loss to break even. You're systemizing your trading strategy. Number three, always take a trade which gives you a risk to reward ratio of at least 1:2 or more. So with our trading system, we usually aim for 1:3. But if we see 1:2, we can also take, because we already have a prop which is going with the same risk variable of 1:2. You get it? So those are part of the things you need to include in your trading, basically in your trading plan. Systemize everything, have rules. The same way a job is going to say, or a school is going to say, be a school or be at your job by 8. There is no way you're going to come to your job like at 9:15. when in the rules it's saying be there at 8 or even 15 minutes before the time you're supposed to start. You actually get there because you know if you walk in at your own time, what's going to happen? You're going to get a warning, a warning, a warning. You're going to get fired. You get it. Same applies to trading. Systemize everything. If you come to your charts, see something, is it what's on your plan? You're not just randomly taking a trade. Okay, I see something starting to happen. I think with maybe Nasdaq. Let's see. Okay, Nasdaq. See, I'm getting carried away with you guys there. Literally getting carried away with you guys. But anyways, I also don't want to jump into a trade a bit late, but I'm going to get into this trade on this account because we've already planned for Nasdaq, isn't it? We've already planned for Nasdaq. So if we've planned for something and we see whatever we've planned showing up, what's the best thing to do after that? The best thing you can do for yourself is actually enter the trade. This is something we were anticipating already. The only thing which we have to wait for on Nasdaq is the famous four. Simple as that. We already set a high. We marked this point of interest on the session. We marked this point of interest on the session. We marked this point of interest. We marked this order block. We marked this fair value gap. And prices reacted on those areas. So to confirm that we are coming down, we need a break of this order block here, of which we already got it closed. So what I just need to see is the famous four happening on this moving average. And I'm going to jump into this trade with a sell. Simple as that. So when I come to my trading platform, I'm simply getting my setup ready. Okay, I wonder why it changed. I'm coming to my setup and getting it ready for an entry. I'm putting my stop loss where I think it might be or close to where I'm going to put it. It has to be outside this 15-minute zone because this was the stop hunt back into the 13 EMA. So my stop loss has to be outside that range. Then for this particular profit, my take profit has to be at least 1:2 because anything above it will just be pointless. So my 1:2 will be somewhere in there. So I just get it ready like this. Then I'm going to take the trade when my entry trigger appears. So just trying to keep it as simple as that, guys. Trying to keep it as simple as that really helps. If you do this, your trading journey will change. So price tapped halfway. What does this mean? It means I need to move my stop loss to what? Okay, there's a lot of multitasking involved now. I need to move my stop loss to break even because that's what we planned. It's part of the plan on our trading, right? It's part of the plan. So we come to our running trade. There it is. We move our stop loss to just below the entry, which will be a $6 profit. If price decides to take us out, it's still perfect. We confirm. Now the trade is risk-free. If it goes up and takes us out, perfect. It's okay. We're not losing anything. If it goes down towards our TP, like I mentioned here, I might decide to close at 2% profit, or I might let it run if there is that momentum so that we recover the initial loss. If they retrace deeply and take us out on the entry, perfect, guys. Perfect. There's nothing wrong with that. So now that our trade is running risk-free, I can now focus on the other account which I have. But if you're having one trading account, it's fine. You can just focus on the one trade running, which is still perfect. So here we come to Nasdaq. Then we come back to trading view. Then we wait. We're not chasing price to say, okay, there's a big candle, let me jump in. Because if you jump in, price is going to humble you. What you want to do is wait for a confirmed sell. Yes, we want to sell, but if there's no confirmation, then there's no reason for me to pull the trigger, isn't it? So here, what I'll actually do is I'm going to put an alert just below this imbalance for a sell stop again, so that I don't miss the trade if it does go down. So my bias is selling, so I'm just focusing on the selling side. So on Nasdaq, I'm just going to say sell stop. And just as simple as that, I've planned my trade. Anything going up for now, I'm not ready to buy at this point. My bias is still selling unless price does something drastic like breaking a structure here, breaking structures here, give me another impulsive move, then my bias might change. But as of right now, I'm looking for this to happen just as we planned. That's what I'm waiting for. So Nasdaq shows, US30 shows that is retracing back up towards our entry. They could take us out on our entry, but there's nothing wrong with that because we'll still not lose anything on that trade. Which brings me to the point of that's why I also love to scale out something here because sometimes your price, especially on US30, since it's not a high probability trade, sometimes price will move to a certain area. Remember, this was a 1:1 risk to reward, right? It's better to actually take something, whether it's 0.5% of the actual trade I'm closing, or it's a certain amount. Whatever target I was aiming for, just take out half, then put your stop loss to break even. This allows you to walk away with something. So sometimes if this price, like for now, if it decides to come back, yes, we won't lose, but we are walking away with nothing. That means all this time we were sitting was for nothing. So as a trader, as a day trader, you want to pay yourself. Remember, first thing, you protect your capital, stop loss to break even. Second thing, you pay yourself. So scale out something here. In this setup, though, I didn't scale out anything here since I was just busy talking with you guys. But normally, I love to scale out half of the trade. Just like I showed you, I'm going to close partial, then let the remaining trade run. Just trying to keep it as simple as that. So here I'm just watching Nasdaq. It's actually pushing up aggressively. I'm just looking at this price here. So if you understand price, you will know that the last time you were looking at the chart, the price was there. So the price now is at this point. So I hope this helps, guys. This session, if you took away something from this session, please let me know in the comments. If you learned something, just let me know that you've learned something so that I can do more of these videos. If these videos are too long, I can simply focus on the trade recaps because what I normally do, if you've noticed, is I will take my trade, do my live trading session, maybe with some of the members who will be available for that live trading session. We do a live trading session, but I don't post it on YouTube. What I do is I'll come and do what I call a trade recap. I'll just come and pinpoint what I was looking for. So I was looking for this, then this happened, then I took my entry there, then it stopped me out, then it was a loss, or I took my entry here, then it moved, then I did this, I decided to close half the trade, or I moved my stop loss to halfway or to break even, then price did like it's doing now and it took me out. You see, all these things, those apply on the trade recap. But if you want the actual videos like this one, please do let me know. If you want to join in on these live trading sessions also, do let me know. And I think it's about $10 per month to join my live trading sessions. It's not really that much. And you can make that back within one good trading session, literally. So if you want to sit in with me, and we can even look at some of the other things you trade, because you don't necessarily have to trade what I trade. Sometimes you come in because most of the things we state on the mentorship, I usually explain them during my sessions like this. So let me show you the running trade. I think it's hit it's hit our break even so that you guys can see that the trade is not closed. Excuse me. You can see there's nothing running there on the bottom now. So that trade has closed. It was on Dow Jones. So you can see this was our first trade, which hit the stop loss. Then the second trade, we closed it at break even, and that's that. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is how we approach the charts as day traders. This is how we approach the charts on a daily. We want to map our trades. We plan our trades. We execute what we've planned. If price does what we've planned, we simply execute. And we want to protect capital by all means. Always make sure capital is protected. So again, let me highlight this. Remember, the session highs, session lows are points of interest. So on this particular setup, you could have approached this setup also like this. You could have seen your entry here, and you could have simply just aimed for this initial low right here. Your stop loss just above. The only thing here, it's actually 1:2, which means it was perfect. The only thing here is your entry had to be a little bit earlier. Right on the first confirmation, you are in that trade. Right on this low, you are out that trade. 1:2 risk to reward ratio, you are done. Yes, the first trade might have taken you out. That's part of trading, isn't it? You see the next thing you enter. So for me, I decided to use this safer entry. That's why you saw my risk, my TP was targeted at the bottom here. And I was actually anticipating a break of this level and a continuation. But price did not do that. And I did not walk away with a loss. Rather, I walked away with a break even on this particular setup which we took. So I hope this video helped somebody who's struggling, or if you're already on your trading journey, I hope you picked a point or two which is going to improve your trading. If you want to join my live trading sessions, I usually host them every weekday. So usually 4 days a week. And I usually try to do a free live trading session every Wednesday so that anyone can just join in and see how I trade, and it's for free. So if you want to join, just get in touch with me on WhatsApp. You'll get the Zoom link because these sessions are hosted via Zoom. So I think that's it for me today, guys. If you enjoyed this trading session, don't forget to subscribe, guys. If you watched until the end, and if this session has helped you in any way, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And if there's anything you would like me to do videos on trading related, just let me know as well, and I'll definitely consider it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good trading.